Rahat. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Vessalatu vesselamu ala Resulina Muhammedin seyyidil evvelin ve ahirin. Meded ya Resulallah ya Sadat ashabı ve şahı destur ve şahı ferzat Sh.Muhammad Adil Naqshbandi tarikatuna ve sohba ve hayru fil cemiyye. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ve cihad fe inne mecahid nefsihi sadakallahul azim. Cihad, şimdi cihad nefsimizdendir.
Now, in the time we live in, the jihad we perform, the fight we have to do, the struggle is the fight against our own ego.
Çünkü cihad olarak tek başına yapamaz insan.
Because in the time we now live in, it is not possible to perform jihad as a personal individual in that general sense.
Peygamberimiz sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem savaştan dönünce cihattan, biz küçük cihattan büyük cihada geldik diyor.
And when our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, returned from war, from jihad, he said, we have returned from the lesser jihad to the greater jihad.
O savaş, düşmanla savaş yapmak, nefsinden savaş yapmaktan daha kolaydır.
And what is that greater jihad? Fighting against an enemy is easy compared to fighting against one's own ego, which is the greater war against one's own ego.
Manasına getiriyor Peygamberimiz sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem. Her şey insan nefsini istediğini yapmaması lazım.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, with this saying indicates that the war and the fight against one's own ego is greater and more difficult than a war against an enemy. And it is a constant struggle to fight one's ego, and one must not give in to one's ego's desires, but one must resist one's ego.
Ona karşı gelmesi lazım.
In fact, a person needs to stand against his ego.
Çok şeyler var. Yani insan nefsine yapmak, karşı gelip ona savaş yapsın, kendi nefsine savaş yapsın diye.
There are many things where one should resist one's ego. There are many things where one should wage war against one's own self.
Onlardan da birisi kötü çünkü hiçbir faydası yok.
And there are things which one must resist and not give in, even though the ego may desire it, because they are simply bad and have no benefit.
Şeytanın yapılışı şeytanın pisliğinden yapılmış derdi Büyük Şeyh Efendi Abdullah Dağstani Hazretleri.
And one of those things one should resist and not do is smoking. It is consuming tobacco. Grand Sheikh Abdullah Dağstani used to say that that tobacco was made out of the filth of the devil.
O da bu tütün mamulleri, sigaraydı, şuydu buydu, her türlü ondan çıkan şeyler, ondan hiçbir zerre kadar faydası olmayan bir bitkidir.
Tobacco products, cigarettes, and things that are derived from it, they are all made from the filth and the waste of the devil, and they have absolutely no benefit, not even an atom's weight.
Bir kötülüğünden başka bir şey yok. Her türlü hastalıktı.
There's nothing but harm in it. It causes all kinds of illnesses.
Etrafa rahatsızlık vererek,
It gives discomfort to those around you.
Kendisine hastalık vererek, başkasına da kötü olarak
It brings illness to oneself and it is harmful to others.
Yani etrafında kalana da kötülük olarak bir şeydir bu.
And if you smoke, it is something that is not only harmful, bad to yourself, but also to those around you.
Onun için onu gene Allah muhafaza etsin. Onlara müptela olan bir esir oluyor ona.
And may Allah Almighty protect us. Because what if a person gets addicted to it once, he becomes like a prisoner to it.
Kurtulması çok zordur.
It then becomes very difficult from escaping from that bad habit.
Onu kurtulan az oluyor ondan.
Those who manage to escape are few.
Ama nefsine cihat olarak Allah'ın emri cihat müminin şeyidir. İslam'ın
But that is exactly the greater jihad, the struggle against one's ego, which is Allah Almighty's command and which is the duty of the believer. The greater jihad, the fight against one's own ego.
Yapılacak şeydir. Ya tabii şimdi cihat kendi tek başımıza yapamadığımız için bu cihadı yapmamız lazım. Kendimize karşı, hiç olmazsa nefsimize karşı bundan kurtulmaya uğraşmalıyız.
Since we cannot perform in the time we now live in the jihad in its general sense as individuals, we must perform this jihad, this greater jihad against ourselves, and we must fight our own egos, and we must strive to get rid of these types of bad habits.
Ondan kurtulalım.
We should strive to get rid of those bad habits such as smoking.
Hiçbir şey yok ki faydası olsun de hiçbir insan yok ki onun.
There's nothing about smoking that anyone can say it has a benefit.
Bir faydası var diye söylesin. Yani ekildiği yerler bile onlar yeri mahvediyor.
Even the places where tobacco is planted, it ruins the soil.
Onun yerine birkaç sene geçmesi lazım ki o yer kendine gelsin. Yeniden başka bir yarayan bir bitki çıksın.
A few years must pass for that land to recover so that another beneficial plant can grow.
Allah'a şükür şimdi eskiden binlerce dönüm, yüz binlerce dönüm bu pis bitkiyi ekerlerdi. Ondan sonra toplayıp depolara koyar. Çiftçiye parasını verir. Birkaç sene sonra çünkü fazla bir şey yani kullanışlı değil. Onu denize atarlardı.
In the past, they used to plant thousands, hundreds of thousands acres of this filthy plant tobacco, and afterwards they would collect it and put it in warehouses. Then they would pay the farmer, and a few years later they would pay the farmer money, and a few years later, because it wasn't useful for anything, they would throw it into the sea.
Allah'tan o şeyi vazgeçtiler.
Thanks to Allah Almighty, they gave up on doing those things, and they gave up on doing that.
Onun yerine hiç olmazsa daha faydalı, insana faydalı olan bitkiler ekildi.
Instead of planting tobacco, they've started planting beneficial plants that are useful to humans.
Onların o mesele kalktı ortadan Allah'a şükür.
And thanks to Allah Almighty, this issue has been resolved.
Yani dediğimiz gibi hem her taraftan zarar.
And this is just an example of how harmful tobacco is from within every regard.
Ekilmesine zarar.
It is harmful to plant it.
Yazık verilen o mazot parasına, alet edevatın parasına, depolara, şeylere.
Tobacco smoking, it is a waste in every regard. It is a waste of money, It is a waste of fuel. It is a waste of tools and equipment for the warehouses and for everything that is used in order to make it grow and consume it.
O kadar yerler boş boşuna zararlı bir bitki ekmek için kullanılıyor.
So much land is used and wasted in vain to plant that harmful plant.
Allah'tan ondan kurtulduk.
Thanks to Allah Almighty, we have stopped to plant tobacco, and we have been saved from that.
İnşallah insanlar da bu şeyden kurtulur.
And inshallah, people too will also be saved from this thing.
Mesela şeytan hiç şey yapmıyor, yorulmuyor, etmiyor.
But shaitan does not tire. He does not give up.
Yeniden çoluk çocuk filan bakarsın ve bir sigara başlar ya dünyayı kurtarmış gibi bir sigara yaktı böyle alır şey yapar.
And you see still children, kids starting to smoke, and you see them light on a cigarette, and you see them smoking that cigarette and acting as if they had saved the world. You see youngsters, children lighting a cigarette, holding it, acting like heroes who have saved the world.
O bir şey tuvalette de içilir o.
And cigarettes are a cigarette is something people even smoke in the toilet.
En çok sevdikleri yer sigara içenlerin tuvalette içmek.
The place smokers love the most is smoking in the toilet.
O pis kokuların içinde bu pis koku da onları kapatıyor galiba. Daha pistir bu.
And in those foul smells in the toilet, it's maybe that this foul smell of the cigarette suppresses the other foul smells. The smell of the cigarette is even fouler than what's in the toilet.
Onun için ondan memnun oluyorlar en çok öyle.
And therefore they are most pleased to smoke in the toilet in that way.
Yani bu Allah tabii
May Allah Almighty protect us, protect people from being affected by that addiction.
bazı insanlara tesir etmiyor, bazılarına tesir ediyor.
And some people are affected, others are not.
O da yani çoğuna tesir ediyor. Şimdi
And it has a negative impact, smoking, to most of people.
%99'una o muhakkak bir zarar veriyor.
It harms certainly, definitely, at least 99% of people who smoke.
%1'i olabilir zarar görmeyen.
There might be 1% who is in fact not affected by smoking.
Mesela bundan seneler önce Kıbrıs'ta bir camide abdest alıyorduk.
For example, many years ago in Cyprus, we were making ablution at a mosque,
Yaşlı bir adam vardı orada, sigara içiyor.
and there was an elderly man smoking a cigarette.
Bizim rahmetli Ahmet Salman Efendi o eskiden çok içermiş, bırakmış.
And our late Ahmed Salman Effendi used to smoke a lot in the past, but had quit it.
Demiş, ona adama söylüyor. Amca sen bunu içme, bu şey yapar. İçmezsen uzun ömürlü.
And he said to that man, to that elderly uncle, don't smoke this. If you don't smoke, you will be long-lived.
Olursun. Adama sordu kaç yaşındasın?
He then asked the man, how old are you?
95 yaşındayım. Ne
And he said, I'm 95 years old.
kadar içiyorsun küçüklüğümden beri içerim diyor.
How much do you smoke? He said, I've smoked since I was little.
Bazılarına el oluyor da çoğuna zarardır.
Some people are, in fact, like in this example, not affected by smoking, but for the majority, it is harmful.
Etrafına da zarar.
And it is not only harmful to the one who smokes, but also to those around them.
Adamın üstüne o pis koku siniyor, her tarafa gidiyor.
That bad smell permeates the person's clothes and goes everywhere.
İnsanlar yanlarından uzaklaşmaya uğraşıyorlar.
And people try to get away from those who smoke and have that bad smell on them.
Yanına gelince öyle bir külhan gibi kokarlar.
When they come near you, they smell like a furnace.
Yani faydalarını, zararlarını saymaktan bitmez.
There's no end in enumerating the harmful aspects of smoking.
Faydalarını bitmez derler ya bu.
And there's no end to enumerating the bad and evil aspects of cigarettes.
Zararlarını, kötülüğünü saymakla bitmez.
You cannot count the endless harms and the bad effects of smoking.
Allah kurtarsın.
May Allah Almighty save us.
Allah muhafaza etsin insanları bu şeye düşmeden, bu kötü hale düşmeden.
May Allah Almighty protect people from falling into this bad state in the first place.
Allah kurtarsın Allah.
May Allah Almighty save those affected.
Allah yardım etsin.
May Allah Almighty help.
Çoğu insan geliyor bize dua et, kurtulalım bu şeyden diye.
Many people come to us saying, pray for us so that we can be saved from this bad habit.
Duacıyız inşallah.
And we will pray, inshallah.
Allah kurtarsın bu şeytanın tuzağından.
May Allah Almighty save us from this trap of shaitan.
Ve Allah tevfik. El Fatiha.